Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be building a escape map in the video using mainly the new item components that were added in 1.20.5 as well as in more recent versions. I'm currently in the most recent snapshot, 24W35A, and one thing I have just noticed, that piece of bedrock right next to my head looks like a fox face, and I now cannot unsee that. But anyway, this map will be downloadable in the description once I have something completed. I'm aiming for about 5 to 10 levels. So let's start off with the first level. Now this is where you're going to spawn when you load into the map, and I know what the first level is going to be, so we need to create a way to do this. I want a block in each corner that don't take ages to break, but also don't drop when you break it. Maybe quartz could be a good thing, or netherrack is probably the best thing to use here, because it's very quick to break, but it also don't drop unless you have a tool. So if I place that one there, let's also place one in that corner, one in that corner, and one there. Now the first item component we are going to take advantage of in this room is the use remainder. Now what this component does is it gives you an item when you use an item. So let's use the example of honey bottles. When you drink a honey bottle, you get a glass bottle in return. So what I want to do here is give myself a type of stew. So let's give maybe rabbit stew. And then I want the use remainder to be sticks, and I want the use remainder to be 7 sticks. As you understand why in a second. Let's now also grab a barrel, as we want barrels in these corners, but I want them at a range where if you drop down then you're stuck. And I also want it so you can't pick the barrel up. So by doing something like that, if I place the barrel there and the netherrack there, if I break the netherrack, can I reach the barrel without dropping down? And I can. Perfect. So that is what I want in all of these corners. So now I've got one barrel on each corner. Let's just make sure there are no holes that you can get out of the map. There isn't. Now 2 of these barrels are going to have items in, and 2 of them are not. So let's first of all throw this rabbit inside of that one. Inside of this one, we're going to throw 4 planks. Now, what them 4 planks are used for kind of makes sense if you understand the route I'm going. So now we're going to block all these up. And that is level 1 technically done. Now to go to level 2, you're going to have to go through that door, which obviously just by looking at this, there's no way to get there. So you have to use the items I've placed in them barrels to get up here. For level 2, I kind of have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. So what I want to try here is we have a tunnel, which you can see. And then at the end here, I want to block it off. So you need to get yourself a trap door. And we can do that just by doing something like that. So then the player needs to basically get a trapdoor to go through this one block. Now, how will they get the trapdoor? Now, that is where I want to use the component, but I'm not sure if this is going to work. So if I place, for example, some lava on this block here, and then place a sign below that, is the lava going to hold an item like thrown through? So for example, if I throw this netherite ingot through, is it going to go down or is it going to float back up? That is the question. And it went all the way to the floor. That is exactly what I wanted it to do. And the reason we want that is because I want it to power a pressure plate that is on the floor below. So this is what we're going to do here. So I'm going to place a dispenser right there. I just need to make sure I cover it all in bedrocks. And now we just need to get a redstone line up to that, which shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. If I do something like that, and now I can just grab some redstone. So I now just need to make sure when an item hits that pressure plate, it powers the dispenser. So let's throw a pressure plate inside of that, and let's now quickly just see if I go on inside, if I throw the netherite ingot down, that does not power the dispenser. Okay, so let me quickly just adjust the redstone, and that should now work, I think. So let's try it once again. If I head on inside of here and I throw that down there, the dispenser should activate, dropping the pressure plate down on the ground. And it didn't. Why not? Let's quickly just see. Okay, it dropped it there, which if I block that off, it will now drop it straight down. So that now works like I want it. But we now need to somehow get the item you throw into the lava. And I don't want it to be a netherite item, because then that would be kind of obvious. So what we are going to do instead is we're going to grab a shulker box and hide the shulker box underneath the lava. I'm not exactly sure where. I would say probably here would work. So if I place it going off that sign and then place just a piece of bedrock there. We now need the item inside it here. I've now given myself a tripwire hook by running this command. It has a custom name of fire resistant because I think if I don't rename it, it might not be that obvious. And then it does have the fire resistant tag, so when you throw it in the lava, it won't burn. So that is now level 2 done, I think. I just need to test to make sure it works. So you click there, grab that, throw that down there. That should then activate this dispenser, which I forgot to put the trapdoor inside of. So I've now got an idea for level 3. I've been experimenting with some of these, and I found this one, charged projectiles. Now this is basically for crossbows, so the item charged inside of them. And you can set this to items that is not arrows or fireworks. For example, I have this one set to diamond. Now it doesn't render anything inside of it, but the projectile is diamond. And when I shoot it, it shoots an arrow. But when I pick this arrow up, I won't get an arrow, I'll get a diamond. So this has made me think, maybe we could do something with these. So I've now set up the crossbows we need, one for a breeze rod and one for a heavy core. Now the question is, where do we hide these? As we don't want to just give them to the player. And I have an idea. I've put these blocks in the corner, which I guess we could just throw item frames on the top of them and set these invisible. And we can do that just by doing this command, and that sets it invisible. Now if I load it into there, it's now hidden. And if we have a look, yeah, you can't really see it unless you like really do look down, which that is exactly what we want. And now let's just throw the other one down. I will move these before I publish the map, just so you guys don't know where I've placed them and it's a bit harder. And that is now the other one done. That's not good. Did it break? I don't think it should have. It didn't. That's perfect. So now we have that done. We need to send the player somewhere. And I think the way we're going to do that is just a hole in the center. And there we go. There's the hole. So now what we need to do is just make this go down enough blocks where it would kill the player to drop down. And then they can use the item that you craft from the crossbows to basically catch the fall. And there we go. So the drop is now about 40 blocks down, which seems to be good. So now what we need to do is put some kind of mob at the bottom here. And there we go. So that is now that part done. The next part we need to do is the next level. So we want to just send the player to the next part, which I have an idea for this already. So now for the next level, let's quickly just move these crossbows. I want this level to be something where you have to use a tool. Now, how we can do that, let's just grab a block, and I think I want it to be reinforced deep slate, just because reinforced deep slate can't normally be broken. And we're just going to have some random reinforced deep slate blocks in the walls. So now there is a load of random reinforced deep slate blocks. We're going to use this pickaxe, which it can break reinforced deep slate, and I do also have a tag on it for the tool, so it breaks it a lot quicker than it normally would, as you can't normally break reinforced deep slate that quickly. Now this is the command I've done for it. You can see that I have the tool component, which then has the rules of blocks with the speed of 40 and the correct tool true. And then I do also have the can break and selling it as reinforced deep slate, just so it can break them blocks. So I've now set up the first part of this next level, which you have to break this leaf to get the item, which is now a brush, to break the reinforced deep slate. So from there, we need to make it so the player has to break these deep slate blocks to get to the next level, which we could just have it so there's a door or a button behind one. But I think it would be cooler if we done it a different way. So behind one of these, now I'm not going to show what one, we're going to put an ender pearl. And then behind another one of these, we're going to put the exit. So the next level, which is level 5, I have this, which gives us an item with the attribute modifier of scale. And it scales us down to minus 0.5, which is half of a block. And this does it when you hold it. So when I'm holding this in my hand, you can see it changes us to be a lot smaller, meaning that we can fit through this gap. And this is how you'll get to the next level. But the question is, how can we get this item? As we don't want to just have it on the ground, that doesn't make it difficult enough. I've just had an idea. What if we have like a sheep inside this room that is very, very tiny that you have to kill to get the stick? Sheep is now spawned and it's a lot bigger than I would have liked it. Maybe if we dye it black, then it might like blend in with a bedrock a little bit more. But I want it to be at a point where you can barely see it. And at the moment, it's a bit too visible. That's not the button I was meant to click. So let's dye you. And it's going to be very hard to click you with a dye because you are so small. Stay there. Let's see. Can I click you? I can. And it's still quite visible. Let's see. Can we make it any smaller? So I've currently got it to 0.1. Can I make it to 0.01? And it doesn't seem like it's any smaller than the black one. So yeah, it seems like that is probably the smallest we can go. So now there could be better ways to set this up, but this works, so I'm happy with it. We have a command block here, which is constantly checking for the sheep. If there is a sheep, it will give it darkness. Now, if there is not a sheep, it will turn this comparator off, turning this torch on, and then running this command, which then gives the player black wall with the effect. I need to change this to AS to AA, just so it gives it to everyone. So I've now made some adjustments to the map to make it fit a bit better and to make it so that it works, as there was a lot of issues. But we are now going to run through the map inside a survival mode. Now this map isn't the best thing in the world, it could be a lot better. This was just me testing. So first of all we need the rabbit. I did make this always edible so you can eat it without losing hunger, as it was very annoying to sit here jumping around. We then need the crafting table. Maybe I should just put a crafting table in here because I guess you could use these 4 planks to build up. Or maybe I could just replace the barrel with a crafting table. That could also work. So let's place that down there. We then need to eat this. Let's quickly just eat the raw rabbit. That'll give us 7 sticks. And then with them 7 sticks, we can craft up some ladders. So now the next level, we need to grab the tripwire hook, which I have renamed to drop me rather than fire resistance, just so it makes sense you have to drop it. You just have to guess where, which in this case, it's underneath the lava. And that'll drop us down a trapdoor, which we can then place and go on to level 3. Now, this one, we have to find the crossbows. I know where they are, but I will change these before I launch so they're hidden a bit more. So there we go, we now have the heavy core and the breeze rod. That can be turned into the mace. And then with this, we now just need to hit that zombie, and we done it first try. Perfect. So now level 4, I think this is. Yes, this is level 4. We need to break that, which will give us a brush. And then with this brush, we can break some of the reinforced deep slate. And this one has the ender pearl behind, so that means this one right here has the exit. Then we need to ender pearl through that. Perfect. And now we need to kill this sheep, which if I quickly just kill it with the mace, that worked. We now need to hold this black wall, which will get us through this hole, sending us up to the exit. Now I know it's very small, but once again that's because I know where everything is and I know how to complete it. It will probably take you around 10ish minutes to complete not knowing where anything is. It's not meant to be the longest map in the world, it was just me experimenting. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, then do let me know in the comments, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.